Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Colin McGilligan here. We're going to be speaking about all of your latest championship news. Thank you so much for all of your support over the last 9-10 days. I think this channel has been running. It's been absolutely instrumental. You guys have pushed me over 2.5k subscribers, which is amazing. The comments in the video are absolutely humbling as well. All the videos, I should say. Thank you so much. Please leave your suggestions in the comment section below, what you want me to talk about next. Maybe the style of video as well. I want your guys' input. And today we're going to be speaking about potentially your club. Let's get into it. So, Latte Lath, Middlesbrough and Atlanta. Well, Atlanta made a record bid for the striker, but nothing has been agreed yet. A huge wage packet was offered as well to Latte Lath, but he went to Portsmouth with the Boro at the weekend, scored a goal which took his tally to 11 goals this season. He's a monster. His athleticism is sort of notable at this level. His physicality, how explosive he is, and he's very quick off the mark as well. I think that transitional element, the Latte Lath, to be from the Championship and go into the Premier League is seamless. I think you've seen that with offers from Crystal Palace as well, who have a reputation of getting a good base, a good foundation at Championship level, bringing players like Elise, Hughes and Eze. And I really think they could do that with Latte Lath. But for me, him going to Atlanta, even though it's a big wage packet, I wouldn't want him to decrease in that standard. I think the Championship is such a fantastic standard when it comes to European football and world football. I think he should stay here, hone his craft, and that is more impressive for me than him going to MLS and then potentially coming back. I really think staying in the Championship under Boro, the long-term vision of that is great for the Teessiders, of course, keeping hold of him. They're going to get a bigger value for him in the summer, potentially, if he's able to just score, where he's got 11 goals already. And I think really he's going to acclimatise that Premier League standard very, very well. But listen, if Boro keep hold of him, they have a real shoe-in for winning those playoffs. Never mind just being in it, but winning those playoffs. I think the drop-off to Tommy Conway is quite significant. I like Tommy Conway. He's done well this season, but I'm just not 100% sure Latte Lath leaving and Tommy Conway being that replacement is good enough for Boro's top 6 hopes. That's just my personal opinion. I think he edges him on pretty much every attribute, to be quite honest with you. I think if they let him leave, and sometimes you've just got no hug in this fight. Sometimes if the offer is too big, the player's going to want to move on. But if Boro keep hold of him just until that summer, then they could find themselves in the playoffs and they could find themselves winning it. Jonjo Shelvey has moved to Burnley. Now, this is so interesting. He's come from Eyüpspor in Turkey. Now, he's been out there for a little while. Now, can he transition back into the Championship? I think he's a really good signing for Burnley. Why? He brings experience, he brings leadership, he brings know-how. He'll be fighting for that contract. You know, he'll be wanting to make that a long-term deal so he can transition with Burnley into the Premier League. Now, he's done it before at Liverpool and recently Newcastle as well under Steve Bruce. But sometimes I think people dumb down his attributes. He's a really decent player. His vision is excellent. But I think what Burnley are bringing him in for really is to maybe ignite those wingers. You know, if Benson's coming back, you've got Jadon Anthony out there as well. Are they going to be still looking at Morgan Whittaker? You've got Mike Trezor, who's now back in the fold as well. If Jonjo Shelvey's long passing range can ignite those wingers as well, and Burnley can speed up the play, which at some points I think can be quite laboured, my goodness, you're going to get a quicker Burnley on transition as well. And Jonjo Shelvey, as a midfielder sweeper type, just dropping between the centre-backs and spraying those passes, can be that guy. I think he is worth the gamble as well right now, or maybe a bit of a short-term deal. And then, if he gets to the Premier League with all this know-how, he's really excited to be there as well. Is it a Jonjo Shelvey who's a little bit different mentally as well? He's had criticisms before where he's not been in for the cause, I know particularly at Newcastle, but can he come back and be that guy? And if he is that guy, Burnley fans are absolutely going to love it, but I think it's worth the risk. However, what we do know is that injury record of Jonjo Shelvey's is not great. Burnley fans, let me know what you think in the comment section below. So Tom Cannon, it looks like he's going to be heading to South Yorkshire, Sheffield United. I think it's a really good signing right now for Tom Cannon. Look, in moving to Sheffield United, we could talk about the long-term effects, of course we can, which we'll get onto on this video. But for me, it's a really good signing at this level. You look at where he's been bolstering Stoke to in terms of his goal contributions as well. He's an absolute terrier. He's explosive. And we did a Stoke watch-along not that long ago, and I did mention I think he'd be perfect for Chris Wilder. He seems to be ecstatic. He's bubbling in all of his post-match interviews now. He was mentioning that Sheffield United at the beginning of the week are going to be going in for 5 new players. Cannon and Ben Brereton Diaz clearly been 2 of those. But I think the interesting conversation here when it comes to Cannon, it comes to Ben Brereton Diaz, is for the here and now, excellent. I think there's a real conversation right now about Sheffield United even winning the league. You know, they've accrued the most points so far this season, and they're a real strong side. However, I do wonder how that acclimatisation is going to go with Tom Cannon and Ben Brereton Diaz into the Premier League, because you bring these players in ultimately for long-term effect. I wonder how Cannon, with the money that they're going to be spending on him, is going to acclimatise to that level. I wonder if it's going to be a little bit of a Cameron Archer saga at Sheffield United, which they will be hoping that's not the case. But I do wonder how both players are going to acclimatise to Sheffield United if they do get into the Premier League. That's the interesting conversation here. But what I would say is, in the Championship, right here, right now, Diaz is an excellent signing off that left, or he can play up front. Tom Cannon will definitely plug the gap of quality, in my opinion, that Kiefer Moore maybe lacks a little bit consistently. And I think with Chris Wilder being extremely vocal about bringing these players in, there's going to be a really nice sort of culmination of improved mentality. Maybe at Sheffield United, the second in the division, they're doing exceptionally well, but I think they've been struggling a little bit with injuries, and a 2-1 win at Watford, a 2-0 win against Norwich as well. I think it's been really, really important and impressive from Sheffield United to get those wins against two tough teams at this level, even though Norwich are without Borja Sainz and a few others. I think they are notoriously two tough teams at this level with a threadbare bench, and now they've boasted that, Sheffield United fans must be buzzing. And they're also supposed to bring in John Joe Kenny. John Joe Kenny's played Bundesliga level, Premier League level, Bundesliga 2 level as well. I think it's a really solid signing. We talk about that transitional element as well. I do think Kenny can play at Premier League level. I think he'd be a solid right back, and he is an improvement on what United have right now. So Blaze, let me know what you think in the comment section below. You must be absolutely buzzing. And Norwich City's Matej Jurasek signing got me excited last week, everybody. I think this is a really nice addition, an absolutely explosive left foot, powerful left foot, somebody who's going to add goals and assists to that Norwich lineup, in my personal opinion. A very dynamic left winger who, can play on either side. The real important thing here is post-Brexit regulations, of which he's not going to be able to be registered for Norwich until after the January window, which is a bit of a gut punch. However, I think the trio of Josh Sargent being back, Lewis Dobbin being in the fold now, which I think is a really important addition for Norwich. I think his pace is going to be a real attribute, and he's also obviously played Premier League level as well, albeit not that much. But Jurasek's going to be a really good signing. They beat Club Bruges to the signing of him, 5.8 million at Championship level, especially when Norwich are where they are at the minute. Attracting Slavia Prague's winger to that is a real sales pitch and a real tick point to Norwich's recruitment. So I think that's absolutely fantastic from them. And I think Jurasek has the potential to be one of the top players in this division in the second half of the season. Now, the plan for integration is they're going to have to work really hard to fit him in this system, and I think they're going to have to work really hard to get him match fit. Norwich's recruitment over the past 5-6 years, I think they've unearthed some absolute gems, and this could definitely be another one with Matej Jurasek. Canaries, let me know what you think in the comment section below. So this has been a big impact on the Championship table ahead of tonight's game week fixtures. Sheffield United's moves definitely strengthen their top 2 push. Boro's transfer decisions could definitely make or break that playoff push as well, with it being so competitive down there. Latte Lath in or out, and if he does go out, can they recruit that impact that Latte Lath has brought? Burnley's gamble on John Joe Shelby, could it be one of the signings of the season? Who knows? And Norwich's forward planning with the likes of Lewis Dobbin and Jurasek in particular could be some absolutely key moves in the January window. Keep an eye on those two. But the Championship, everybody, is as competitive as ever. Clubs that are lacking, if they take smart risks in the January window, it's definitely going to pay off overall. What club do you support and who do you want to sign? Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for Championship updates. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.